is a woman who makes James Bond's lifestyle seem dull. She's Peruvian, part of the upper classes, and a total party girl. I give you Elvira Concepcion Josefina de la Fuente Chaudoir. Stylish and arrogant. I'm Astrid Deinhard, and this is Spies and Ties special from our D-Day 24 Hours series. As I said in my coverage of the double-cross system, link is in the description, I'm presenting 4 of the most spectacular double agents of the British counterintelligence effort who had significant impact on D-Day and Operation Overlord. Okay. Before I get into the most flamboyant agent on my list, a few words about bodyguard and fortitude. The plan is to get the Germans doubting and questioning the location and time of the Allied invasion, and to reinforce everywhere where the Allies are not going to land. In retrospect, it will be said that the plot to get them to reinforce in Scandinavia, the south of France, and the Balkans was not especially successful, while the feint towards a Pas-de-Calais invasion target was. That's not quite right, though. The intention was always to push the Germans to believe that the main event was to be at Pas-de-Calais, but that it could come in other places as well, or that it might even be a multi-pronged attack, which it also is, but I'll leave that for Indy to explain. In any case, this would force the Germans to hold back some units, of course. Even if that wouldn't be entire divisions, it would still make a difference, and that is what they have achieved on D-Day. A crucial part of the plan was to split up the Panzer Divisions in France and keep as many of them as possible away from the coast of Normandy. One young, very colorful lady put the final touch to that part of the plan with a single telegram. And here she is. Stylish and arrogant, Elvira grows up in Paris, daughter of a filthy French guano tradesman. She's well educated and speaks multiple languages. She also cares little for what other people think of her. She's openly bisexual, loves expensive stuff, fashion, gambling, and partying. In short, Elvira enjoys a pretty posh lifestyle. But she also has twice the brains of most anyone around her and is consistently bored with a life that does not offer her much opportunity to use them. At age of 23, she marries a Belgian stock trader, Jean Chaudoir. 4 years and many affairs later, she finds out she has nothing in common with him and bails to the south of France with her super-rich girlfriend. The happy couple continues in Elvira's favorite activity, losing at gambling, until the Germans invade France. The relationship is eventually over and Elvira travels to England, where she tries to find a job. She fails to hold down a translating gig at the BBC, so voila, she ends up spending most of her time drinking at the Ritz, hanging out in London nightclubs, gambling, and complaining about losing. Soon, she's racked up pretty hefty gambling debts. So one day, she complains about her financials to a Royal Air Force officer who mentions her to his boss, a Royal Air Force officer, Colonel Sir Claude Dempsey. Known as Uncle Claude and codename Z, he also happens to be the assistant chief of MI6 and puts Elvira under surveillance for a couple of weeks. Uncle Claude knows the value of a smart woman whom other people assume to be stupid, and knowing about her enormous debt, he explains his idea how he could help her. You have the advantage to travel freely between countries with your diplomatic passport, right? And together, with your interesting circle of wealthy, important friends, you would make a perfect secret agent, you know? If the Germans have the same idea, when they meet you, you can provide us with intelligence on behalf of MI6 and get lots of money for it. I will send you to south of France to be picked up by the Abwehr. I know how I can arrange that. In return for £100 a month, Elvira wanders around the south of France for a few months doing pretty much what she would be doing otherwise, playing cards and drinking. Then she meets Henri Chevel, a French collaborator who introduces her to his German friend Helmut Bibi Bleil, a freelance spy. After a week of charming Bibi over dinner and complaining about her financial hardships, Elvira gets Bibi to finally ask her, "How about moving back to England, my dear, and earn £88 a month, and you let us know what's going on in Britain? I feel I can just trust you. I always act on intuition. If I am wrong, it will ruin my whole career." It was, and it did. Elvira immediately informs MI6 and is transferred to MI5 and Tar Robinson's double-cross team. Elvira's case officer, Christopher Harmer, and Hugh Astor give her the codename Bronx for the cocktails she drinks when meeting with him. Her new girlfriend, Monica Sheriff, is an English upper-class racehorse owner, never knows a thing about what Elvira is actually doing when they're not together. Bronx is extremely competent in sending letters to Bibi via Banco Santo Espirito in Lisbon. They're full of girly stuff. I need this, that, and the other. You know, silk stockings and makeup and underwear and blah, blah, blah. Between the lines, in invisible ink, she gives just enough information to be interesting, thwarting gas attacks, political rumors, and press information, mixed up with kind of stupid stuff like shortage of pots and pans and kitchen utensils. Okay, since the mail is notoriously slow and time is of an essence, the Germans soon come up with faster ways if she finds out where the invasion is coming by telegram. Okay, send £80, which I need for my dentist, would mean the attack would be on the Atlantic in a week's time. £30 would mean Denmark, 10, the Balkans. You get the idea, right? So, last week, Elvira transferred a telegram asking for £50, indicating the Bay of Biscay off the Atlantic coast, along with a letter how she has wheeled this information out of a non-existent, drunken Royal Air Force captain on a party. Now, like I said in the beginning, no one on the German side is really convinced that an invasion will come anywhere else than on the French northern coast. Even Hitler believes this is the most probable place. However, they do want to keep the options open for the possibility. Hitler is especially afraid of being fooled again as he was about Torch and Husky. So, they need options, and despite repeated warnings by Rommel and others, Hitler insists to keep his precious Panzer Divisions ready for any such eventuality. Ty Robertson will credit Elvira's telegram as the nail in the coffin to keep the 11th Panzer Division and the 2nd SS Panzer Division in the south of France, east and north of Toulouse, respectively. From here, Hitler feels they can reach both the Atlantic and the Mediterranean coast in time to fight off an invasion. What they most certainly cannot reach from there is the coast of Calvados and Manche today. After the war, Elvira will retire from both spying and her high-rolling life. She will move to the south of France, open a gift shop called L'Heure Bleue, and live in peace until her death at 85 in 1996. The full details of her story will remain a secret until they are declassified in The coming 2005. That's a while to go. To see all of our intelligence coverage, check out this playlist. And please, join the TimeGhost army to become part of this great adventure to document World War II and other historical milestones. You can do that at timeghost.tv or patreon.com. And I will see you next time, darlings.